Hello, Eugene. Thank you so much for inviting us, the Silver Stars, to this show. We are very proud to perform the horror written by Lynn Dressel and myself, Elsa Faith, especially for the supernatural confession. Enjoy. Hello, Eugene. Thank you so much for inviting us, the Silver Stars, to this show. We are very proud to perform. Hello, Eugene. Thank you so much for inviting us, the Silver Stars, to this show. We are very proud.
I really don't feel good. I'm getting a lot.
Is anyone here? What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.
Good Friday evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of what is this? Friday Night Live.
What is this?
Supernatural
What is
Confessions.
this?
Yeah. Sometimes I think Supernatural Confessions, sometimes I think it's stand-up comedy. I don't know. Also want to say a big hello to our friends at Golden Miles watching us right now. You guys are watching us in Golden Mile. Also, that's like Singapore's one of the most haunted places. You know what they say when you listen to ghost stories, you attract the ghost to you, right? So good luck to you all.
Golden Mile, that's what it's known for. Okay.
Yeah, and other things.
I-
Amongst other things.
Amongst other things.
Most other things.
Kimi Black as well. Welcome back, you guys. You haven't been around for a while, but hey, glad to hear your name pop up again. Jelly YT, hello. Wes SA, Sean Lim, Pixel Gun Boy, I
Hey.
Marcus, the Clark, who says Kim cheats his feelings.
I did not.
Erickson, welcome. Hello to the Supernatural Confessions family. Hello to you too.
Hello.
So what's been up, guys? What's up in the last 1 week?
This is rather quiet.
Yeah. Not sure how to answer that one. What's been up?
I had a
Well, at least
barbecue dinner with, Eugene.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Barbecue dinner. A romantic time.
Fans of Supernatural Confessions from 2019 and 2020 would remember the guys, Team O, as well as Eugene Tay from ET, who does the CSI for our show. We were at ET's place, and I was supposed to have Team's belated birthday lunch or dinner barbecue with 2 kg or 3 kg worth of beef. However, Team's relative had died with COVID, so he couldn't join us, and the three of us had to devour everything.
We had to take team share so
Yeah.
kudos to you, Tim.
Yeah. Besides that, I know Meatloaf passed away today, 74 years old. The guy who
R.I.P.
Yes.
Rest in peace, bro.
Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show you, right? Because if you've listened to his music, then you know which era he's from. The fact that he's 74, he was 74, says something about our age, doesn't it?
I'm not saying anything. Kim, don't say anything.
Not sure.
Don't say anything.
No, I just wanted to step in and say I'm sorry, but yeah, I don't know the singer named Meatloaf.
It's because you're not knowledgeable.
Your nose just grew longer, Kim.
Yeah. Guys, Anna wants to know what you guys are drinking tonight.
I have to drink water.
Yakult and soju.
Caffeinated coffee.
Water as well.
Usually I'll be drinking soju or wine, but today I'm drinking water as well because I feel like I'm coming down with something.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it's very important because next Wednesday, we will be leaving, not we as in Sonia and myself, we'll be taking a tour group up to Sri Lanka for almost 9 days during the Chinese New Year week.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got to be well for that. Anyway, there are some slots left. So if you guys have nothing to do during Chinese New Year, or you're trying to avoid the relatives, or Chinese New Year just isn't a festival that you celebrate, do consider joining us. We have a couple more slots left to go up to Sri Lanka, climb up the mountains, see the temples, do the Indiana Jones stuff.
Yeah, hey, your post, you said Indian Jones. I felt very attacked, like
Indian Jones.
Yeah,
the
Chinese Jones, the Eurasian Jones, all not allowed to go, is it?
Indian Jones.
Only the Indian Jones are allowed to go.
That's how they show the
racist.
Because I got autocorrect.
Yeah.
The show got 1,001 reasons to got cancelled. This is one of it.
Yeah, if it was going to get cancelled, would have got cancelled last year. So we're still don't worry, we're all right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's for that. And Kim, Joe, any updates on your side?
Well, 42 degrees in Perth. We are baking in the sun. Yeah, 42 degrees. It was 41 today.
Lasagna. I should have sent you one, and you just put it outside.
Seriously, you put a frying pan on the ground, chuck some oil into it, leave it in the sun, crack an egg, you fry it, no problems.
Wow.
It is just, it's very warm.
Please stay indoors as much as you can. Hydrate, lots and lots of water.
Yeah, I just put a lot of sunscreen because I walk about 1 kilometer from my work to have lunch in the sun. But it's okay. I just hydrate.
You missed a spot. You missed a spot.
It's very nice. When I come down, I'll let you guys just rub it if you like.
For good luck.
Oh, good luck for good luck.
Okay.
Probably for 3 wishes.
Yeah. See what happens at the third time. What?
I'm not gonna. Whatever Joe asked me to do, I'm not gonna do it.
Oh yes, you are, Kim.
No,
I am waiting, Kim.
No, I'm not. From my side, nothing much actually. It pretty much a normal week, but I'm excited for Chinese New Year actually. Although, I think it's 10-ish day, 10 days, I think. Today.
You were saying because your brother's coming down, right? So because
brother is on the other side. Well, because I'm in Malaysia, east and west, right? So because like last year, they couldn't come back. So yeah, I'm excited to see them.
Nice.
I've not seen them for quite some time.
You traveling
And
over or they're
China-
coming down?
Yeah, they're coming.
Hey.
They're coming back. Yeah.
And
So
because of that, you won't be able to produce the shows and cut confessions, and because of you,
yeah.
we will not be having any show on the
Ye-
4th, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me,
yes.
Sona?
So
Disgusting.
please put all the blames on me. Yes, on the 1st until the 5th of Chinese New Year, I won't be around. So yes, put all the blame on me. I won't be able to produce
Oh, you
shows.
take lah, one for the team.
Yeah,
Our
Every
show
now and
yes,
because
then.
Kim isn't around. Ah.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Kim,
It's because of me,
Okay.
lah. Because of me.
Okay,
we
guys.
want him to have quality family time.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. We at Supernatural Confessions believe that Kim has worked really hard and he needs his family time, so we're letting off for that one Friday and one Friday only, for the whole year.
Yeah.
5th of Jan, ladies and gentlemen, we won't be having a show on the 5th of January. It's Chinese New Year week, but who knows? I know Joe and Alvin is at home, so they might have a two-man
Maybe,
show. I don't know. Sonia, I might just join in from wherever we are in Sri Lanka. But yeah, no official show. But we may just come online to just shoot the breeze with you guys on that
Yeah,
day.
maybe on that day, Joe and Alvin will wear some nice Chinese New Year attire and sing some Chinese songs, although
yeah.
they might not know anything, right? So just
What makes you think my mom doesn't make me do that already?
yeah, right. See, so
Yes.
Just record it and put it on the
For
show.
the first time
Yeah.
you see us, you see YouTube and Facebook ban us.
Yeah.
Because
Cultural
of that.
misappropriation.
Yeah, appropriation lah, cannot sing lah. what's going on?
Hey, speak for yourself, bro.
It's-
I was going to answer Wes. Wes is asking, for those keen, how to join you all in Sri Lanka? Oh, so if you go to Eugene's page, my page, or this page called Somewhere in the Middle, we have links to contact us, and they will we'll give you all the details. We have a couple of slots left, and if you want to join us, just contact me, Eugene, and we'd be happy to tell you how you can join us. My week. Nobody's asking about my week, eh? You all think I'm a very boring auntie, right?
Okay. Hold on. Sonia, how's your week?
No, we saved the best for last. So Sonia, now you go.
Oh, now I go. I've been hiking and teaching. Yeah, very normal stuff. I can understand why you're all not interested.
Okay, yeah. Now moving on. So I was kidding.
Why are we wasting time with all this? Let's just move on with the show, guys. But this is
More
Yeah.
important, ah.
I've got things to do.
Okay.
It's 10:08 right now, so let's continue on.
I don't wanna die.
Teaching.
Chinese New Year around the corner. I don't want to die.
I've been busy planning for Sri Lanka. I'm the lead on this one with Eugene as my co. So I've been busy answering lots and lots of questions, getting all the facts that we need ready, where to take the PCR tests, all the different forms to fill up, the visas, getting all of that put together so that we don't mess up this trip. That's what I've been doing.
On YouTube, the clerk says, "Got any young Chilbu going to Sri Lanka or not?" Of course, Sonia.
Yeah.
Say young Chobu, bro.
Yeah, young Chilbu. Sonia.
Yes.
What's wrong?
I don't want to say anything. It's not.
I've never once pretended to be any younger than I am. I'm 46 and very happy at my age.
I mean, to be
Yo,
fair,
you just revealed your
That is still
number.
young
I
and
don't
lovely.
mind.
We've been telling people you're
46.
What is
26.
wrong with that? What is wrong with 46?
46. I'm owning it. I'm 46.
Yeah.
And
That's my wife's age, so that's fine.
You
Why,
are
what are we-
46? No way.
Cannot tell. What's your
Kidding me.
sister
Shout out to
saying?
Eugene.
Okay. And this episode was brought to you by Dove. Okay.
I don't use that.
Let's get straight to our show proper. Oh God, it's 10:10. Kim, we'll save your jokes for later. But for now, Elvin, you have something for us this week.
oh yeah, so from the sunny island of England, we got a couple of got one from
Mhm.
Thailand itself by the Thailand Joker. So I'll start off with Ying Ch- So this is in a pub as usual because all the crazy things happen there. Pub in York.
Yeah, why all the hantu like to congregate in
Because
pubs?
there's a lot of spirits in the pub. Get it?
Oh yeah, that's right.
You
beat
said
me
it
to that.
last week already. One of you said it last week already. Very stale.
Man is like possibly one of the patrons or one of the owners. Look in the center at the four-legged.
Four-legged chair.
Because there are a couple of stools, so you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, so there's a lot of bar stools in this
Yeah.
picture right now. For those of you
I
who are
would
listening
have
to this
just
on
said, look at.
podcast.
Oh, there.
Oh,
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. It's moving.
the
Yes.
chair just moved.
Okay, why is the chair like by itself like out of place?
Yeah. Okay. So that
Can we
in
see it one more
itself is
time?
Look at
Okay,
the
so-
size.
just having that particular type of chair in a sea of stools makes zero sense. Why that particular type of chair there? That in itself is already a dead giveaway.
I don't know. What do you guys think, man? Hantu?
Hmm.
Your people start coming
String.
already. Must
Of
be
course
a
it's the string.
Strings.
Strings lah. I think we gotta stop with objects moving like this lah. I this one I'm gonna go with string because it's because the chair is so out of place, and why is only
Yes.
one four-legged chair like Sonia mentioned.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
that? And then you see the direction it's moving in, right? It's so clear that off screen, more towards my right, that they'd be pulling it this way, what? And you can't see, it's not captured by the CCTV.
Okay, that's it. Now there's a few things that have been sanctioned by Supernatural Confessions that you cannot post. You cannot post pictures that no one else can see a ghost and then you circle because people just going to mock your picture. I'm so sorry. People with third eye who can see ghosts in photos, you need to let us know what you see, because if you just put up a photograph without any preamble, it's going to get ripped. And videos with moving chairs, especially at bars.
So
gonna
string
fly,
win
not gonna
or ghost?
Everyone's saying
If you
string.
read all the comments on the Facebook Live, you know what? It's string.
Yeah, everyone's going with string.
The
So
string
hard-
camp
hard to
has
tell.
spoken.
in 2020, when every time there's a haunting, it is the EMF. In 2022, when there's
wire.
something moving, it's a
The string.
The string.
Yeah. Unless the video was like last week's video whereby the chair was flying and everything. Okay,
Yeah.
that might
Okay.
not
Even that one, even I was a little bit, iffy about that one.
be. Ah.
But how everything moved towards that one door, that one kind of
magnet lah, strong magnet.
stringy for me.
Okay, this one is a string.
Okay, string.
Okay, next one again from the sunny island of the UK.
Sunny Island of the UK. UK is known to be very dowdy, what?
Ah,
Dowdy.
sunny
Yeah,
and-
that's why he's. Don't worry about it. That's okay. Don't worry.
I felt like I don't know why, but I felt like the starting of 2022, Joe is a very sour man lah.
Yeah, I've just given up on people in general. I've given up. It's over.
It's only January.
Yeah, I've already given up. I gave up last year.
Okay, let's go.
This
Let's
is
go.
this is the ghost. Okay, basically, there was a lady right behind the car park. She saw this light flying around the car park itself. So she managed to take a.
Okay. Can't really see what's in this.
Car park, so you can see the silhouette of a car on the
and
right.
I see the light.
What,
Yeah.
what the hell is that? That's white and moving around.
Okay. I will
One-
not say anything until you guys are done.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Okay. We are looking at somebody's house, right?
Yeah, just
in
behind
front
the
of
house.
somebody's house or behind the house.
So this is a car
Yeah,
park.
so you can see.
Yeah,
There's
it's a
this
car
light going across the screen.
Looks like a
And what
fireball.
camera is this? And what camera is this? It's like a
It's a CCTV camera.
CCTV.
Is it? It could be a car cam.
car
I think
cam,
it's a camera.
doorbell
Yeah,
cam?
it's a car cam, right?
It could be
Yeah,
a
it's
car
CCTV.
cam.
Sorry, it's a CCTV.
Oh, okay.
CCTV.
All right. Sonia is
So
gonna
not
go
car
last
cam.
because she definitely have a logical explanation for this. So I'm gonna say something about it first.
Okay,
I-
go ahead.
Is it just me or somebody else actually noticed? It felt like there's a lag when first the lights appeared, or is it just me, or is this how it's supposed to shape? Like I don't know, but
Because it's a CCTV, right? So it's hard to say.
Okay. But yeah, I've never seen lights like this. Orbs,
I'm dying
yes,
already. Can you all
But
hurry
I've
up,
never
please?
seen the lights like this. Yeah, I'm gonna go with
a screen.
before Sonia said anything, I'm gonna go with the Hunter.
I'm gonna go with that's an artifact of the camera, coupled with a very low shutter speed,
Really?
and it's actually a person holding the torch or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you look at the size of the light itself, in reference to the window, it can't be a torchlight, right? I would think, unless it's a lantern. It would seem to me as if this is like one of those Will of the Wisps or Ghost Fire sort of entity just going
It-
across.
But it's given off no light. Like it's in a sense, yeah. And look, if it's close, if you're trying to talk about the size in proportion to the window, it could just be closer to the camera. That's why it looks a lot larger.
I
Mm.
feel
than
like
it
it's
is.
closer to the car as opposed to the building
Yeah.
further back.
Same
Okay.
here.
But it is, yeah, there is like someone's leg at the start.
Yes, and
Yeah.
you can see a form at the very beginning of the video. You can see that there is a
Yep.
form,
It's the flesh.
and it has the movement of somebody walking, that bounce
Yeah.
that goes with somebody's
Yep.
steps.
Somebody said Barry Allen, so yeah. It could be Barry Allen.
We reuse Hadoken as well.
It could be too. So it's for Super Rational, it's
It's a person holding a light,
a torchlight.
a torch, or some light, right?
Okay.
Some light source, not necessarily a torch, but I feel like it is a person holding it. And you can see at the very beginning of the video, it does look like there is a form of a person, and the movement of it, the bounce of it, is very similar to that of a person walking.
Mm.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the supernatural though. I don't know why, but it kind of gave me a creeps.
Mm. I'm gonna go with that. This is
I'm gonna
irrefutable.
Yeah, he's gonna
irrefutable proof that irrefutable proof.
What are you drinking?
I'm become Chinapela. Close to Chinese New Year. Okay, irrefutable proof that the flesh exists. Or something was caught. You know, like how those photos or videos where they catch something that's not supposed to be in a timeline, or someone just appears to save a child and then disappear. Those videos. I think this might be one of that.
It's
Where
a paranormal event.
paranormal event, but it's not a hantu. Just something.
Is there any stories behind it, or I mean, like, you know, somebody died, or somebody been saved from a fire, or something
Is
like
there a
that?
backstory?
Is there a backstory to it?
There's no backstory to this, but just like basically it was
Ah.
okay. Basically, there is the UK. There's a scientific study of anomalous phenomena, and this video happened to win the best sighting of 20.
Really?
Oh wow.
That's sighting.
I guess the chairman of this association says the best. So
Who are we to say, right?
Who's this
Night,
chairman?
Leo.
Chris Roma, according to him,
Where's Black Panther?
according to this paper, he's
With
a
him.
paranormal whiz. But there's no backstory to
Mm.
this now.
What do you think, Alvin?
I think
Yeah, let's hear what you have to
I
say.
think it's I think I have the same rationale as you. Probably
Mm.
someone just walking past, then the lights, like it's going. There's probably some artifacts in between.
Yeah.
Mm.
Especially at night, you can't really see a lot of things. Right?
Mm.
Oh, it's 3 against 2.
Or it could be aliens.
That could be the reflection of the anal probe that they use. They just go into someone's house. No, it's like,
Might
how
as well
can
go
why are you
with the
laughing at my
anglers fish
explanation?
Probably aliens. Aliens.
Okay, we'll go with aliens for this one. Aliens with anal probe. That's what we're going to go with.
Aliens with the anal probe lah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
We'll
let's go with the
that.
third one.
The next one, I think you guys have seen it. This I believe is an influencer. He dressed up as a Joker and he was going around.
Oh,
Oh,
This
this was the
influencer
one
my
on the
ass.
page.
Yeah,
Eugene.
there's
Your
many
ass
parts
Can't
of the
stand this
video.
bugger.
There's many parts of the video. Then this is one of them.
Ah.
I'm glad he made it lah. He made it lah. Finally, he's successful in his life lah.
What else did he do? So he picks.
Okay, so I'm going to describe this video. This was the one I sent to you guys on the SC group. It shows a guy in Thailand speaking Thai, dressed up like the Joker, especially the Suicide Squad Joker. the one with the tattoo on the face, it says deranged. He's walking in what appears to be clearly a Thai cemetery where there is statues all around, and there's a Lucy, a Thai spiritual master statue there, and he's drinking the offering. But I mean, what people don't like about this guy is that he's what pompous, disrespectful asshole going around just mocking things in the
That's
cemetery.
very disrespectful.
Yeah.
กดไลค์กดแชร์กดแชร์ไป
But you see, this is the kind of stuff that gets a lot of eyeballs and a lot of comments, and
ได้นะฮะ
In fact, this
not
particular
necessarily-
video has 9.5 million.
Yeah, you can see why, right?
Yeah.
Because he's a douche.
Oh, look at that. I mean, I just want him to get like possessed or get hurt by some
No,
spirit.
all I want is a statue to fall on him.
ออกมาเลยนะครับผมทุกตัว
No
ทุก
need
อย่าง
even
นะจ๊ะ
possession. One of the statues to just fall on him.
โอเค
In some of the other
Yeah.
videos, we see that he's possessed and his friend had to carry him out.
โอเค
So people are saying he's faking it or
โอ้ย
not.
หน้าตายิ้มแย้ม
But
แจ่มใส
to me, anything on TikTok is very dubious. So,
It's true.
พี่จ๋า
It's done for the views.
โอ้
yeah.
ยืนตัวเอียงเขาด้วยยืนนานยัง
Something else happened in this video.
เปิด
Yes, right now.
เดี๋ยว
So you heard the guy scream, and if you look back,
เฮ้ย
you see that packet there on the floor.
เหี้ย
He drank the drink.
แม่งร่วง
He put it on
Put it back.
put it back, and as they're walking away, he heard a kapayak sound. They turn around, and the packet
What's
is
the
on the
packet
floor.
drink now, right?
กูว่าแล้วกูระแวงตั้งแต่เขาชี้นิ้วเลยไอ้เป้
ไอ้เหี้ย
เป้
รู้สึกไม่โอเค
เจียมัน
ผมก็ยังไม่ได้กินนมของเขานะอยู่ดีก็ป่าเดียวหมู
I remember there was one episode where it was during the Ghost Festival last year where I was enlightened that once the joss stick burns,
หุ่นทุก
Yeah.
then the essence of whatever you're offering is gone and you can actually consume what's there.
ตายโหงนะเป้
Yes,
Does it-
Sonia, you're right. You can consume the food that you give out as offerings.
ไอ้เป้ไปเหยียบนมเขา
However, what he's doing is he was mocking it. He was not.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I'm just talking about the concept of it.
Yes.
As opposed to, yeah, I don't agree with anything he's doing. It's terribly disrespectful.
So some of the
Clearly only for the views.
some of you guys are asking what is these statues and all that. I know one of them is a Lersi. Lersi is also known as the hermit. And in Thai belief, the Lersi is like a learned master who has spent enough time in the forest as a hermit. And in Thailand also there's some parts where they learn magic from different ways. Some is a city magic. Hermit magic is again, I know you guys out there who are better at this than me. It's a person who has practiced the arts of Thai magic that is originated from nature and forests. That's what I know. Okay.
I think this there's actually there's short documentaries of this place actually being posted in our group before. I remember watching the video.
Oh,
So they were telling I do not know whether it's his name, but I do there was a comment by I think this is C2 Ezekiel that
C2.
says
Yes.
Yes.
Ajahn Chuan Ashram. So I'm not exactly sure whether this is the place, but what I watched in this video is actually there's a lot of all these abandoned statues that been left there, and some of them are actually believed to have you know how those master actually capture all those spirits, and they actually keep them in this statue and leave them at this place.
So as a vessel to hold them.
As a vessel to hold them, yes. That's why sometimes the people will still go there and give them offerings and whatnot, right? So
And people continue to say that it's rumored to be made with the material itself used to make the statue human remains, ashes,
Yeah,
bones,
yeah.
and even tattooed skin,
yeah.
and then all bonded by black magic.
I
Wow.
think there are some more explanation about that documentary. I'm not sure whether we can find it, but if let's say we cannot find it in the group anymore, maybe we can search for it and we post it in the group. But what I felt about the video is yes, the guy is being disrespectful and doing all this and whatnot. But I do not know whether the effect will come immediately, like what happened in the second part of the video, whereby he seems to be possessed and he seems to act up like he became stiff and have to be carried out by his team member, right? I do not know whether the effect will take cause and immediately like that or not. But I felt that by him doing like that, I felt that from now on he will just have bad luck in his life.
Yeah.
I mean, like the effect might not be immediate, but from now his life is gonna be downhill if he don't seek for mercy lah. I felt like that.
Okay, so speaking of that kind of effect, right? The possessed effect. I know a group that went over to Istana Woodnote, and one of them got possessed in that kind of effect. So I wouldn't go so far as to claim that he has faked it, even though I really think he's just out for the eyeballs. I've seen how some possession cases where they just freeze up people and carry them out in that kind of style. But definitely Sway, I think, yeah, he is. I believe bad luck is just going to go to him.
I think my perspective is he's probably done this for the likes. I'm going with the whole. I think he faked it for his channel. But and interesting that both of you guys said, right, that this guy will have that bad luck following him. Even if the bad luck doesn't follow him, I think his very attitude in life, he's going to create his own disaster for himself.
I was going to punch him in the face.
Yeah, that you don't need. Like, if you have a look at him, look at how he's dressed, look at how he's acting. He's not a very respectful person. I can't imagine that this guy's a very happy guy even before this.
I mean, if he craves validation in that way, what does that say?
Yep, totally.
Okay. Well, some people get their validation from social media based on number of likes and views. So, yep, that's the culture these days. Okay. Is that all, Alvin?
Yeah, that's all. That's all the videos.
Thank you very much. And
Thank you very much, Alvin.
Cruising
Thanks,
the
Alvin.
internet. And up next, in the next segment, we have JDC, who's going to give us the highlights of what's happening this week on Supernatural Confessions. Private group must be the Hantu. Take it away, Jay.
One of the main things, Eugene, I think that garnered a lot of likes as well as comments was what you posted. It was the question from Zeli Sood. And basically is, what he's saying is, let's say you encounter an experience where you're stuck at the same place for hours after trying to find the way out. What is the solution? This is that famous thing of the ghost cover your eyes, right? Is that that kind of, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that in Mandarin because I will mangle it. But yeah, and I'm curious as to what the other hosts think about the experience where when you try to go somewhere and
hang on, give me a sec. A moment. I think I lost you guys for a moment.
Okay.
Hang on.
How much did they miss? Did they hear us the whole
You
time?
can hear your voice, just the video.
Okay. Yes.
That is
You guys, all your eyes, as you were talking about that, Joe, and then we went off, everybody had their eyes
covered. Yeah,
Wait,
so
so
that
yeah.
that is the
powerful.
demonstration, real-time demonstration.
We got lost for 1 whole minute. It didn't feel that
I
long.
think Joe try speaking. Maybe I can still catch you. Try saying something. I can't hear you. Sorry. Big butts. big butts.
And I cannot lie.
Okay. Why we are laughing and the audience are probably wondering why, because Joe is doing his sound check. His video is not there, but we can hear him and he's telling us jokes, but we cannot see him and you guys cannot hear him either.
He said he like big butts and he cannot lie. I'm gonna just say it. Joe,
Yes.
you cannot hear Joe, but yes, I cannot hear you.
Yeah.
Maybe you log out and log back in.
You try log out back in. You just refresh. Yeah.
Yeah. So Joe
Internet
like
down
big butts
under.
and he cannot lie, and all of
About
us,
it.
his other hosts, can't deny.
Okay, so do not know what he's gonna say, but Eugene, you may continue. From where he picked up.
Okay, so Kuwaiter Yen is where the ghosts cover your eyes, and the belief is that when you walk into a forested area, mountain area, or anywhere nature that doesn't belong to human, it belongs to the spirit world, there may be mischievous spirits out there who will cover your eyes. And when they cover your eyes, you walk around in circles and you're unable to get out. And I know a lot of people have experienced it. It's almost become like a phenomenon, like a sleep paralysis. Some have suggested use your Google Map to get out. But the thing about the Google Maps and everything, right? Some reason or another, is no longer about science and logic. You just will follow the map and you keep walking around in circles. That's how it works. It's not that you are lost. It's just that you keep walking around in circles.
I remember talking about this during the Hikers and Hantu segment about this very thing. How I had 2 encounters with this climbing Gunung Ledang, and we were walking around in circles, and we were told by our hike leader that we cannot bring any pork onto this mountain because it's a sacred Muslim mountain, right? And you're not supposed to bring pork on the hike. And we kept going around in circles, coming back to the same tree. And by the second round, he told us all to unpack our bags. He wanted to see what we brought. And true enough, somebody was carrying a tin of luncheon meat. And he said, that's why, because we were disrespecting the mountain, that we were led in circles. So he buried it, and we had to offer apologies in general. And after that, we made it out. Moving away from that spot, we finally made it to base camp on Gunung Ledang.
There was another scenario where we were, I don't know whether this was with you or not, Sonia, but we were walking somewhere, we got lost, and we knew where the path was. We keep walking around, we come back to the same bloody hut where I felt there was an entity there. Walk, keep coming back. Walk, like bloody hell. We knew we walked straight. Yeah, we knew we were walking straight. How did we somehow make a U-turn back to the hut again? And there were a few ways that we were taught to break the curse. One is to pee, like literally put on your pants and pee on the path ahead. Another one is to cut a plant and turn it upside down. Some even said take out your underwear and put it on your head. Frankly, at that point in time, I was quite sweaty, so I wasn't going to risk it. Some even said sit down and smoke. Some said take the cigarette and make an offering. So when we posted up that post, what is your advice? That's really what we're trying to get at. There were so many different variations of people providing their own advice. Some from the grandparents, some from what they learned. But I think most of them we can agree that they fall around the same or similar belief. So when we pissed, or when I pissed, somehow we just walked straight and we found a path, which we couldn't find the last 3, 4, 5 times when we walk around. But the path was just
but
like
I think it was, you see, that's not how I think, right? To me, it was just a coincidence. We needed to just stay still for a second, get our bearing correct, and then regroup and make our way out. Alfred was with us. Alfred smoked. You went off and peed, and I just stood there and I regrouped. I looked around again because I'm a landmark person, right? Then I realized, and it was just the path that we were trying to take was just ahead, and it was so late at night, and we'd gone traipsing around in this forested area. I just attributed it to the fact that we were disoriented and tired.
I totally agree with you, Sonia. There's a park, a number of gorges in called Karajini Park, north of Perth, many 1,000 kilometers north of Perth, right? And a lot of my Aboriginal friends have told me when you go there, do not go there without the guide, because as the day changes, right, everything remains the same, but the way they look change. So the colors of the gorge changes, the colors of the water change, shadows lengthen. What you may perceive as this really small boulder may look completely different at a different time of the day. So I think this is what happens with people. People just get very disoriented. They don't know where they're going. And I think
Kim.
Oh wow. Someone covered Kim's eyes. See, it wasn't just me. But it's this idea that all these things, like putting your underwear over your head, doing a pee, stopping to have a cigarette, what they do is they allow us to just stop. They allow us to stay still, to get our bearings, to calm ourselves down, so that we can act in a more,
rational
rational and deliberate manner. Nice. So having said that, though, if that happened to me, I would pray and I would pee just to cover my bases.
You know what I figured happened that time when Sonia, she had her aha moment and she went to walk straight and she saw the landmark. She stood there for a while. In the same time, I unzipped my pants and I whip it out. And when I started to pee was when I chased the ghost away, and suddenly she goes, aha, I remember now. That's the path. So it all
That
happened at the
was-
same time. I'm
That
giving
was the
credit for that
explanation I was going for.
one. Yeah.
What a coincidence.
So yeah, Joe, I like what C2 posted. You were abducted just now with a D-U-C-K.
Okay, all right.
Very
The
nice
duck-
play on words.
The
Yeah.
duck jokes are coming back. I thought I had left that behind, but no. Thank you, Preacher, for bringing the duck
You
back.
have a duck in your background, and we're constantly reminded of it.
It's more of a chick as opposed
It's
to
the
duck. Like,
yellow that's reminding us of it.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
No.
Also, the other question that I posted up was about Ishun. I will share this story with you guys another time. Some confessor has shared the story with me, wanted it to be anonymous. She comes from a very staunch Christian family, so she cannot confess about this on air because it will just look bad for her at church. But she shared with me something, and it was very real to her, and it has something to do with Ishun Forest because apparently, somebody that's related to her went to that part of the forest, paid a price to meet someone because that's a place where black magic is performed. And they actually went together, performed a black magic ritual, and left. When they went back the next day, they couldn't find the spot. So she was asking, Eugene, do I know anywhere in Ishun that people practice black magic? So I post that out to the community, and perhaps once we get enough information, we will share that with you in the next Friday Night Live.
That whole area is SAF training grounds. And it's huge. That entire area is very, very big. I'm not surprised they couldn't find it.
Hmm.
so you're not recommending people going there because it's like a military installation, or
In the first place, if you get caught, you can be court-martialed. Not court-martialed because you're not in the army,
Charged,
but you
yeah.
can be charged. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I got the words mixed
yeah.
up.
So when I come down to Singapore, please none of you take me to any of these really like legally ambiguous areas, right? I do
SLA
not
land,
do well in
SLA land is fine. We know where to
Okay.
bring you, and
Thank
we
you.
know where to leave you and not be found.
No, don't do that. I can't tahan in that area.
If the ghost close your eyes, you just have to pee. Or wear the underwear on your head. That's it.
Or
I wear
text
underwear on my
me.
head. Without wearing the underwear over my head?
You
But you
want
don't wear
to pee,
underwear,
you take
right?
it off, you put it on your head, then you pee.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay, let us get straight to the confession. First confession. Kim, tell us a bit more about that.
The first one should be
Kampung Pontianak.
Kampung Pontianak. Yeah, Kampung Pontianak. So this time around, because we week in and week out, we always get our narrators to actually narrate the stories, right? So we decided to, okay, maybe this week let them chill a little bit. So we get our host to narrate the stories because we have not heard from Eugene, Sonia, and also Joe for quite some time. So the first one is about a Kampung Pontianak. Why this story is because it has been quite some time since we heard about Chet Pon's story, it seems like it, huh? The famous Chet Pon story, because I remember when I first came into the show, everywhere the confession is about lady, long hair, white dress, until Sonia was all fed up with.
I just heard a story about this yesterday. One of my hiking friends, her name is Samantha. I think she's watching the show as well. And she was texting in my group chat asking us which smell is stronger, frangipani or jasmine? And I thought, why would she ask such a question? And then as she slowly relayed the story, then it made sense. And we all got the heebie-jeebies. And of course, I checked up on her after she'd gone home. And she said she was walking. She went for a walk to clear her head. Okay. And then she suddenly smelled, she was walking the green corridor, if I'm not wrong. And she went through an area and suddenly it was a very strong floral smell. She walked along some more, it completely disappeared. And then as she kept going, that strong and that she walked right into another
Like a
cloud
bubble.
of that whole cloud of smell again. And then she continued walking and then it disappeared. Now that area is not known to have frangipani trees or jasmine bushes. So she was very perplexed and it freaked her out. So she texted us and then I asked her to do a few things like, how you wash your feet before you enter your home and all that. But she was very spooked. She said she was going to burn sage and all that. And that made me remember all the stuff that you guys like to tell me about Chet Pon. And I went, we've got quite a story there, don't we?
Yeah, so
Did I do well?
You did very well. I feel like if I meet Chick Pong, I have to ask her for an autograph because she's my favorite ghost.
Yeah.
She's by far my favorite ghost.
So whenever you are going and meeting her, asking for autograph, I'm not gonna follow. Yeah. So okay, we're gonna hear.
I will just remind
story.
her, Cik Pon, your ends are very dry. You need to trim your hair already.
This
I don't
reminds
know.
me of the post that Kim put up. What can you
Yes.
say in a paranormal sighting and when you are having sex?
I love the answers.
You guys are
so
very
if-
creative. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are creative. Okay, let's go to the confession. We'll come back with Checkpoint more after the confession.
Alvin, take it away.
Kampung Pontianak by Usman. This story was related by my late mom once upon a time. Back in the late 60s, she and her family were staying in a kampung somewhere in the north of Singapore. One evening, she and a couple of friends were attending a religious class and it ended around 10 p.m. After the class, they walked home together. The road leading to their homes was not well lit, and it was about an hour's walk to reach their homes. There was a huge banyan and cannonball tree along the road to their kampung, and everyone in the kampung knew that the banyan tree was haunted by a pontianak. Thus, people always tried to get home no later than 9 p.m. As it was already 10:30 p.m., my mom and her friends were lucky as one of the neighbors had seen the three of them and rushed them to come into the house. The neighbor quickly ushered them into her home and closed all the windows and the door. She then brought them to the kitchen and told them to wash their feet and faces. My mom and her friends informed the neighbor that they had just finished religious class and was now too scared to go home. The lady scolded them that they were not to be outside so late in the night and urged my mom and her friends to stay with her as her husband was out of town. She passed my mom and her friends some pillows and advised them to rest and sleep. But she warned them not to go near the windows or open the door should they hear any knocking. They were to just ignore it. This made my mom and friends a little bit restless and scared, and they begged the lady to sleep with them. Sometime after they fell asleep, one of my mom's friends woke her up and whispered that there was someone knocking on the door and calling for the owner of the house. The night was still, and as they kept quiet listening, they heard the knocks on the door again and a soft voice calling for the homeowner. They rushed to wake the old lady who was sleeping with them, and she hushed them, saying that they should just ignore it. This time, it was no longer knocking, but a loud pounding on the door. A voice was shouting that it knew someone was awake in the house and demanded to see the owner. At this time, the lady lost her patience, and she told my mom and her friends in no uncertain terms to not look out the window, as she was going to scold the person outside of the house. She stood up, bundled up her hair, and rushed to open one of the windows. My mom and her friends, who were huddled in the corner of the living room, closed their eyes and covered their faces with their hands as they heard the creaking of the window as it opened. The lady let out a row of expletives and told the person that her husband was not home and not to bother them. She warned the person not to disturb her again. My mother overheard the person saying that it just wanted to see the guests who were staying for the night. My mom then took a peek from behind her fingers, and as she did so, she let out a shriek and began crying at what she saw. Its hair was long and messy, with a pair of protruding eyes and thick lips. It had a broad forehead, and its eyes, nose, and mouth seemed to be crammed together. It was snarling and pointing to my mom and her friends. One of my mom's friends saw that and peed her pants as the thing started laughing. The laughter was so soft that it seemed far away. The lady slammed the window closed and rushed to pacify my mom and her friends. She gave them some water to calm them down. Funnily enough, they did not sleep, but just huddled together until the break of day. The soft laughter went on until dawn, and when the sun rose, they bid farewell to the lady and ran all the way home.
I like this one. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I like this story. I like the whole idea of walking through a kampung, lonely kampung road in the 60s, right? With this kind of houses on the side and no electricity. And it's just like an old Malaysian pontianak black and white movie. I just loved it. Love stories like that.
We still have places like that in Singapore.
Yeah, Kampung Wak Hassan or
Yes, up
Where?
here, and then it's in the north. So I was thinking as you were narrating, did they mean this Kampung Wak Hassan, which is
Maybe.
here in Sembawang? And if you walk this road, yellow dim lights, long straight road, and we had an encounter on this road.
Yeah, we did.
Chickpon?
Wow.
We
This
don't
this
know this
episode, this episode,
think so.
Sonia was stuck in a loop in a forest. She has an encounter. Wow, I like this episode. I like this episode in particular. Sonia, continue, Sonia. Tell us what's the story.
It was a supernatural confessions tour. It was no, the first one was a recon. The second one was a tour. Both also we had incidents. Our participants had incidents, and then the recon one we all had experience. Smell, very strong tight smell. And at first I thought it was somebody stepped in poop because we had to walk through a forested area and then out. And all I could smell was this very cloying, yucky poop smell. And I made everybody show me their shoes to check. No, we couldn't find anyone. And we had a spiritual, can we call him a master?
Someone who's a bit more spiritually inclined and can do a bit basic cleansing.
He's
been trained. He's been trained.
Enlightened.
Yeah.
And he told us, no, this is the smell of it's like BTMM. My version of it is BTMM. What did he say it was? There was a Malay term.
What's BTMM?
Bukit Timah monkey man. It's an ape-like creature. And he said that's what it was, that smell. Mawas, yeah. It followed us, that smell.
Okay.
It came, it left. It came and it left. And nobody had poop on their shoes or anywhere on our articles of clothing. And it just followed us all the way out.
Yeah. Sean Lim took the words right out of my mouth. Got check shoes, no check underwear.
But if it's a poop in the pants, right, the smell should be consistently following us. But in this case, the smell will be there and then it's gone. And then you will stick to, let's say the four of us are walking, it may stick to just with Kim. And then later on, the smell will remove from Kim and go to Joe. That's a bit tough to find it. You know what I mean?
I remember a story that was told to us by a client who we had gone to see for some kind of investigation, right? Yeah. He said that in his house, he was followed by the smell of rotting fish.
Mm.
You know what I mean? He'd walk and it's just this smell would just for some reason be at just different parts of the house. And he said it's very strange. It wouldn't permeate the rest of the house. If you walked one step into this bubble, you'd smell it like someone was just waving a rotting piece of fish in front of your nose. You take one step out of that bubble, you smell nothing.
Yeah. I heard some STDs have spilled too. So.
Huh?
That's very, very true. But could you please elaborate for us, Kim? It sounds
since you know so well.
I don't know, but it's from the.
That's what they all say.
Personal experience. Asking for a friend, konon.
Yeah, exactly.
No. It's because I say what is the thing that you can say during a sighting and also during sex? Ada bau. That was my favorite.
I like that. Nasty.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Okay. So continue.
This one reminds me of a story when you said fish, Joe, that smell of fish, right? Reminded me of a story that a barber's friend was talking about when he went fishing.
Yes.
And it was this like a makcik wearing a sarong, right? And she would come up and ask, "Do you have any extra fish for her?" And they had extra fish and they kind of felt pity for her, so they gave her the fish. And then the next time they saw her, she was crouched over the fish, eating it raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite creepy.
There was a particular spot in East Coast Park where fishermen would fish.
Changi.
It's East Coast.
Changi Point. I remember because he said, okay, never mind. The Changi one. Okay lah, whatever.
Changi lah. Okay lah. One of the beaches lah. Okay, one of the beaches.
Yeah. Okay.
There was Changi. There was another one. There were two stories. The Changi one we actually we played the confession on this show as well, and we talked about Changi one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but okay. The point
East
is,
Coast then.
there's 2 beaches in Singapore where it's known for fishermen, our anglers. Even no, sorry, 3 Punggol as well. There was a confession from Punggol about fishermen seeing a head floating in the water. The one in Changi was the nene asking for fish, and when they said they don't have fish for the day, suddenly they have a lot of fish, or the nene asked them to go somewhere else, and they caught a lot of fish, and they keep coming back for the fish. Then that one, but that particular story was in Changi. When they drove off, the nene was beside them, flying beside them, asking for food.
Oh no.
That's the Changi one. The East Coast one, the one that my barber and his friend was at the East Coast Park area. They went to fish, and then this nene came up to them asking for the fish. So they said, okay, they caught the fish. They don't want to keep the fish. They passed her the whole box. They went to one corner. As they were going out, they saw her crouching and eating the fish with bare hands, just biting off the head.
And like very, that whole gory, as she looked up, it must have been quite.
Her pupils are all black and everything. That's the one, right?
Yes, that's the one.
So we probably put together all the fishing and all the nene fish story together in one
all the nene
compilation. Yeah.
That one is Mermaid Grow Old lah.
So what do we have to say about the first confession though? We stray a bit too far from from the first confession. So what do you guys think about the story?
I love the story a lot because this reminds me a lot of my grandfather's time. My grandparents grew up in Kampung, like legit Kampung, walk from one plantation across plantation to go to another Kampung. My dad grew up in Kampung as well, so did my mom. When they came to Singapore, there's only a little bit of Kampung left before they became modernized and we all live in HDB. But I grew up listening to a lot of these stories, very common, to the point where it's not even a passed down story. It's my grandfather had this experience, and my grandmother was like, yeah, your grandfather will come running to my house all scared, and I'll give him a nail, and that's how he would have to go back through it because my mother would not let grandfather stay there in the house, and he was be on a bicycle. So it was a first-hand account. And when he passed on to my dad also, who grew up there as a child, would say they heard the knocking sound. Knocking, smell, laughter, all the hallmarks of a 1960s, 1950s pontianak story, like in the one that Joe just read. Very classic. And in Kampung time, this was very normal. In fact, not just my own grandparents, when I spoke to other people's grandparents who were from the Kampung days, they said, oh, this kind of happening, common. Sometimes you can even see penangga flying, you can hear laughter at night, scratching on the rooftop, common. So, yeah, we may find it very scary now, but back in our grandparents' time, that was part and parcel of norm.
Classic story that doesn't need any dissecting.
No. Beautiful. I love it. So evergreen. So classic. I like it.
Okay. So if you guys need some good memories, so yeah, Cik Pon is the source of how everything started. You see, what even the shirt that Eugene is wearing is having a picture of Cik Pon on it. Must be the hantu. See? Long hair, white dress. Okay, so that is our first confession.
And sorry, Kim. Yeah. I'm just wondering, Kim, if we can maybe encourage the SC family to send in stories about what their mothers and their fathers and their grandfathers and grandmothers have told them, like these old stories about
old tales, is it?
Old tales, yeah, stuff that's been passed down through your family. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah. Send it to us.
Yeah, the kind of stories that were used to instill fear in you so that the minute it gets dark, you run home.
Yeah.
That sort of story.
Now the minute it gets dark, I ran out. Okay, never mind. Okay.
Hantu.
Right. Okay, so shall we proceed with the next one?
Yes, please.
Okay, the next one is sent in by a regular, Kara. I bet a lot of you know have read her postings, and this is titled Claw. Let's talk about it after we listen to the confession. Alvin, please.
Claw by Kara. In light of the latest story shared by Dennis Chew in 8 Days, it reminded me of a couple of incidents that happened to me at East Coast when I was much younger, and I'd like to share one of them today. Gentle disclaimer, this is one of those quite visually disturbing, and if you are easily queasy, maybe give this one a miss. Part 1, East Coast. This happened at the end of year 2000 when I was still a teenager and a bunch of my schoolmates decided to spend the night at East Coast to party the night away. It was a fairly large group of maybe 20 plus people, and we had a great time just reveling in the thought that school was over for the year. I remember it was sometime in the wee hours when my schoolmates decided to kill some time, and one of them came up with the idea of playing catching amongst the nearby trees. For safety reasons, some of the older siblings insisted that we run and hide together in groups, while the catcher went about looking for us. On hindsight, it was a terrible idea because East Coast back then was not as quite well lit as it is today, and for the most part, none of us really knew the area well, especially in the dark. I recall, as the game started, I was feeling very apprehensive. I never enjoyed the game catching anyway. But the atmosphere was charged with excitement, and we soon got caught up trying to find the best spot to hide from our catcher. Whilst running, I remember hearing the excited squeal from one of my friends who caught sight of the catcher, and we immediately ran towards the direction of some trees to hide. There were about 6 of us in the group, and I was running somewhere behind the 3rd or 4th person. It was at this point, when we were running between the trees, that I suddenly felt my neck come into contact with something sharp, but was running too fast to stop. At that time, I felt a strong force pushing me backwards, and I could feel myself flying through the air, and then losing consciousness as I fell backwards and my head hit the ground. When I came to, my friends were crowded around me and asked if I was okay. In a daze, I said yes, and merely requested to go back to the main group to rest. I remember walking back to our tables in a stupor, and when I emerged from the trees and was within sight, one of my friends sitting at the table looked over at me and screamed, and suddenly several people came running over and asked what happened. Unbeknownst to me, my neck was a complete mess, and blood was trickling steadily down and staining my white top. I touched my neck gingerly to check what the fuss was about, only to find my hand covered in blood. Perhaps still in shock from the ordeal, I honestly felt no pain. One of the older siblings quickly grabbed a t-shirt and tried to put pressure and stem the blood, while another ran to get his car to drive me to an ER. On the way there, I contacted my parents, who met me at the hospital and were equally stunned at what they saw. They grilled my friends about the accident, but no one had any answers. I tried my best to reenact the night to them and the doctors in an attempt to shed some light, but could not explain what happened, nor why no one else running before or after me had been cut in the same way as I had. According to the doctor, my injury looked very much like I had been strangled by some barbed wire. But had I just run a couple more inches into it, I would have quite possibly garroted myself to death and certainly not lived to tell this tale. In the following week, some of my friends from that fateful night visited me at home and filled me in on some of the happenings after I had left. They told me that when dawn broke, some of the older siblings did a thorough search in the area where we were running to, and to track down what had nearly ended my life, but failed to. They didn't find any wire or objects that could have led to that disastrous accident. They left saying some prayers in fear they could have offended something within the trees. Till today, I still don't have the faintest inkling about what happened or who pushed me out of the way, but I'm feeling very appreciative for life, as you can probably imagine.
Mm.
Very nice, very nice. Sarah is one of the one of the very popular, well-known writer for Supernatural Confessions. In fact, if you go back and check one of her earlier works, there's the resort story. Even the one, what's that place that the estate she stayed in? There's part 1, part 2, part 3.
Tanglin Hall.
Tanglin Hall.
Hmm.
All the stories gives me goosebumps. This one included. I do not have anything to dissect about it. Simply love the situation, and of course, such things I believe is the work of the Hantu being pushed and all that. This is a classic Hantu manifestation.
Could be just a bunch of naughty kids step into the wrong area, and they're trying to somehow harm this kid physically this time because maybe the thing is really pissed this time around.
Sonia, I'm wondering, Sonia, you probably could answer this better than any one of us. Has there been any attacks on Singaporeans by birds of prey?
No, I've never heard of one. Our birds of prey aren't that big. The largest may be the white-bellied sea eagle, and they're not interested in coming down that low in forests, even at night. But you know what I was thinking when I narrated this story? I read the story first before I narrated it. Sometimes when you go to places like East Coast, and people are very fond of tying rope from tree to tree to make temporary shelters with ground sheet and stuff.
Right.
And sometimes they just leave these things there, and then hammock strings and all of that. But that was the first thought that came to mind. Could that have been a possibility? And a lot of times you don't hang it very much taller than yourself because you can't reach to tie it. And if it happened at about neck height, and these are teenagers, secondary school, so they would be pretty much full grown. It is about at that height that you would tie rope for those purposes. Of course, I would have thought that first, because that is my first instinct, right? But for it to look like barbed wire,
but the friend also went back to check at the same place, but
the
find
person
anything.
who put it up could easily have removed it because they came back the next day, right?
Possible.
So, yeah, it is a possibility. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying, could that be?
Yeah.
Hey, wasn't there recently like this Cinereous Cinereous vulture?
The buzzards.
Yeah, could they have attacked a human being?
They don't normally. They're very far off their flight path. They're not supposed to stop in Singapore on their migratory path. It was just a one-off. They're not normally sighted here. In fact, this was the very first sighting of buzzards.
I'm gonna maybe just go with that, not an explanation, but a possible scenario of people actually getting attacked by birds. Because again, in Western Australia, it's very common during the springtime for people to get swooped and attacked by magpies, especially because that's the start of their nesting and of that kind of like season, right? So
here it's more. Here it's more the long-tailed macaques that you could be attacked by, as opposed to birds of prey.
Right. Could that have happened? Nighttime, no one can see anything. Something
Anything
hits
is
the
possible.
person. Yeah. I mean, again, like I would like to almost think that they encroached upon the territory of a spiritual being, and this person wasn't happy. Because remember, mom and dad always say, right, when the sun goes down, don't play catching, you'll never come out. No one will ever find you. Right. So it could be that. But the more rational part, I'm wondering if they were actually attacked, if she was actually attacked by an animal.
I mean, tough. Australia is, you can get killed by animals and
Oh my
insects.
God! Yeah, it's the most dangerous place in the world.
Yeah.
Cottonmouths and everything can kill you.
That's why I'm a bad boy.
I don't want to go Australia because Joe is there. Nothing else. I'm not afraid of the animal. Actually, I'm afraid of Joe.
I'll kill you with hugs, Kim. I'll kill you with hugs.
Anything from you, Kim, on this particular story?
I have nothing else to say because, like I said, then again, there's a lot of explanation because we do not know exactly what kind of place did she run through, and then again, this is a bunch of kids, right? Maybe it could be barbed wires around. It's just that when the friend went back to check, maybe the friend went into another place and then check at the wrong place.
Kim, I thought you on.
But wait. Chill. But for me, I would still go with. I think they might have offended something there, which actually got so angry. Maybe they don't, this is not the first time they came and play. The thing is, okay, first time, never mind. Second time, never mind. This bloody kid, 15 times when he's still here. And they came during my nap time. I'm not close one of them. Bloody hell. So, yeah, maybe that's the case. So I would like to believe that. So, remember, if kids, you're watching this and not yet sleep, better go to sleep now. Somebody else is going to come and claw you later on.
Wow.
I thought it was interesting how it wasn't just like a single line. It was more like you said, barbed wire. You have all those different parts.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
Interesting story.
I'm going with it must be the hantu for sure, because this is another classic hantu case. Someone's pushing you, someone's scratching you. I mean, the simplest answer is usually that must be the one. I'm going with
Must be the
Occam's
burung.
razor.
Must be the burung.
Must be the
Must be
hantu.
the burung.
Okay, anyway, up next we have the Silver Stars. If you guys just join us, this is our third episode for this new year. Silver Stars open up the show for us this year, start of 2022, on the 7th of January, with their song called The Horror. And this one is their latest original called Gugu Gacha. Very nice. They even did an MTV for it. Very trippy. I know Elsa and Junie, they are in the chat group right now. So ask them about this story. Guys, Elsa and Junie, why don't you tell everyone in the chat group what that story is from your grandparents, while we take a listen to this song called Gugu Gacha from the Silver Stars. Alvin, take it away.
Yay.
Trees in a moonlight sky, Mama and Papa walking by. In the distance they hear me cry. They come to me with no questions why. Hold me Papa, hug me tight. Feed me Mama, make me alright. Don't you know that you're gonna get a fright? Slowly but surely I'm gonna watch them die.
In today's Know Your Hunter, we're going to talk about bajang. Bajang is believed to be from the family of jinn or shaitan, and usually are kept to harm its master's enemy. If not so, they are believed to inhabit big fig trees. Whenever you heard sound of crying babies coming from top of the tree, it might be the sign of bajang. Through black magic, it could be summoned by using a stillborn baby, and during its sighting, it would take the form of a polecat or civet. It is believed to always cause harm to kids and would be the usual reason for unexplainable death of these kids back in the older days. In older times, some children would be given bajang bracelets or gelang bajang made of.
Okay, so we have a song about babies found in the forest from an Indonesian couple in Gugu Gacha from the Silver Stars, followed straight after that by Bajang. Bajang, Bajang, not Bajang. Okay.
I thought it was bajang.
Not bajang. It's bajang. It's not bajang.
Yeah, it was not
Bajang.
It's not Kim trying to slang Bajang to Bajang. It's Bajang.
Oh, before we go to Know Your Hantu, did you guys see Joe in the video earlier? Yeah, then they hired Joe to do that, right? Right, wearing
So
diapers.
mean. Yeah. Make fun. Yeah, you can have you laugh now, Kim. Laugh. When you come down, we have to share hotel room, then we'll see what happens, okay?
Not gonna come down.
Underwear.
So then it's the bajang. So yeah, guys, it's not bajang, it's bajang. Apparently, what I couldn't find a lot more information about it because, like Joe say, I'm not doing research, so unless I'm doing it in the lab. But I do not know whether bajang is a type of saka. Like in saka, it's an umbrella term for all this. So bajang is just one type of it. I'm not sure of that. But yeah, bajang has its own like ritual things that they consume. Where saka, maybe it could be an umbrella term whereby they have different stuff that they consume. So, but whatever it is, it served pretty much the same purpose. Whereby in the older days, people would keep bajang to help them with their farm, take care of their houses, and work hard labors. So yeah. That's bajang.
Just heard a story about this from somebody else. I seem to be a lot of people think that just because I'm on the show that I want to listen and hear all these stories. I always tell them, please type it out or contact Eugene or send the story in. Then they tell me, then what am I supposed to do with the story?
Record it, then you rewrite it out and retell it to her. That's what I do. I sit inside taxis. I talk to people at coffee shops. Sometimes I just have to memorize what they say and I type it out.
Yeah.
Jenny Ashley says, is it similar to the Thai baby statues?
The Kumantongs.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Someone's asking about on YouTube. Someone's asking, is it Toyol and Kumantong is the same thing? I think it's same but different lah.
Just is it different names and different terms for them? Is it?
I think it's a different ritual to summon this.
Ritual,
yeah. It's like Baby Joe and Baby Eugene. It's same baby, but it's two different people, right? So yeah.
What?
So it's like same
where did
but
that
different.
come up from?
Suddenly you all are Toyols.
Yeah. So you say Toyo, Kumantong, and Bajang. Is it the same thing? I would
now
say
got Lukok also. One more.
Yeah. So I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same. It's just that
But
there are
then
different
they
rituals.
sound like
and
they all
whatnot.
perform the same type of purpose.
Task. Yeah, purpose. Yeah. It seems like it, but maybe the ritual to summon them is different. That's all. The ritual part is different.
I mean, all children are just spawn of Satan, man. I tell you, if you see one kid, you see another kid. Sometimes I think even the Kumantong might be some more peaceful for you guys.
This I do not know.
Yeah. Anyway, the time now is 11:15. We got one more confession to go to. But show your love for Silver Stars. Go and Facebook them. Go and Google them. They also have We Are Music SG. Go and check them out. Bunch of very talented local musicians there. I believe next Friday or the Friday after they have a Japanese collaboration streaming right before at 7 p.m. So go catch them for 2 hours, then hop into our Supernatural Confessions live show on Friday. So Silver Stars is a band that is into horrorbilly. Horrorbilly? Yeah, I think so. That's the theme of the song that the genre of music that they are going for is all horror theme storytelling, but done in a way that you can dance to. And I think if I put this song onto the Facebook group, you'll be hearing Gugu Gacha for a whole week because it's a bloody earworm. After they played the song, I just Cuckoo, gotcha, gotcha. It just wouldn't get out. So let them know if you want more songs. Hopefully they can come back again with more original tracks this year. They said they've been very inspired by your stories, so keep the stories coming and they will keep the music flowing. Now, the next confession is narrated by a
Horrible.
very, very sexy voice. I mean, I don't think I've met him before, but well, you take a listen and let me know what you think about the voice. I mean, the story. Alvin, take it away.
Look at Sonia's face.
Okay. So the story I'm about to tell you is actually shared by the victim's mother to my mother. So I've got it from third hand, but it's all reliable sources lah. See, my neighbor's daughter was born with a gift for the third eye. For her anonymity and for the ease of reference, let's just call her Angie. Angie enrolled into MMU, a prestigious university known for computer and technology programs. Freshmen usually live in a hostel on campus and go home only during term breaks. During her first holiday break, she returned home looking tired and stressed out. Initially, her mother thought it must be either the hectic schoolwork or maybe relationship issues lah. Angie's mother didn't think too much about it, thinking to herself, it's normal for children of their age to go through this stage. When the new year came around and it was time to return to the uni, Angie became increasingly withdrawn, begging her mother to let her stay at home. Eventually, the truth came out. Angie had been tormented by a ghost living in her hostel room. Not just the hostel room, but specifically the hostel room cupboard. The spirit, which appears as a white wispy apparition, would not leave Angie alone. He would float from the window, through the cupboard doors, and into the cupboard. Every night. Angie tried to communicate with the spirit on a few occasions, but the response had always been either, I live here, or I want you to die. Okay, honestly, I don't know how the spirit spoke to Angie. I didn't get that kind of in-depth information. But all I knew is that Angie was able to communicate to the spirit and she was able to hear these words over and over again. So Angie tried speaking to the management to change her room, but they did not allow it, citing a haunted room was not considered a legitimate reason. Desperate, Angie asked around her seniors if anyone knew what happened in that room. Apparently, there had been a suicide case rumored to have taken place in that room many years ago. The university had covered it up and the case was never made public. When Angie's mom heard the whole story, she went to my mom to seek advice. My mother was considered the most knowledgeable woman in the block. My mother brought Angie and her mother to seek the advice of the temple medium who could trance both the divine spirits and the underworld deities. While in trance, the medium told Angie that the spirit will slowly drain her energy until her chi is so low that it could easily take over her body. The spirit is a vengeful soul that is stuck on earth because of the suicide. When she was alive, she had hung herself from inside the cupboard. Nobody found her body until a month later when the students started coming back to the hostel after holidays. By then, her body had badly decomposed. The medium was able to trace to the item that the spirit had used to kill herself. It was the rope used to hold the curtain in place, and it was still in the room. The hell deity, through the medium, advised Angie to burn offerings and conduct a ritual for the spirit. This must be done on the site at a specific time and with the rope as a conduit. Angie was too afraid to return to the hostel that time. Quite frankly, the thought alone that the rope that was used to hang someone was still in a room and that she has been touching it without realizing it all this time was just too much for Angie to handle. She broke down. Angie's mother offered to go back to do the ritual for her, but the deity said that Angie must be present, otherwise the ritual would not work. So no choice, right? Angie went back to the hostel that very night. And one more thing, the medium said to them before they left, after you have burned the offerings and said your prayers, do not turn back no matter what you hear. So Angie and mother set up the joss sticks, paper money, and a special talisman that the medium had prepared. Angie's mother untied the rope from the curtain and placed it in the stainless steel bowl. At that time, they both felt a sudden chill go through the room, even though the windows were closed and the aircon was at a fixed temperature. During the chanting process, Angie started trembling, but she mustered all her courage to keep going. The whole ritual lasted a few minutes. They called the spirit out, offered the spirit the burnt offerings and a talisman to move on instead of taking Angie. Angie then had to take the bowl outside, bring it to one of the isolated areas downstairs, and she had to do this alone. She carried the bowl with both hands, and her mother helped her open her room door. She continued walking along the empty corridor and down the stairs towards the building entrance. Then she realized she needed an access pass. She can't remember if it was in a pocket or in her room, but right now she was carrying a bowl with a rounded base, so she can't put it on the ground, and she cannot turn back. Okay, the next part was what they told me. I wasn't there, so I cannot verify, but holy shit. Miraculously, the door unlocked by itself. Angie quickly used her leg to push the door open and walked to the back of the building and placed the burnt offerings under a big tree. After that day, she continued staying in the hostel, but there were no further encounters. And this was Angie's confession that was passed down to me. Over to you guys first. What do you think?
I think the story sounds like as if Eugene is the one experiencing it.
Yeah, the style of sharing.
Yeah. No wonder he's the founder of Supernatural Confessions. But I picked the story. But what I think is always, sometimes I couldn't explain the part whereby people couldn't leave the world as because they are stuck in a loop and something, and somehow there are things that they are so tied to. In this case, whereby it's a rope that the lady used to hang herself. It's rather a sad case, right? Actually, to think about it, even though a lot of things that we heard about committing suicide is, we thought that could be the end of all the sufferings that we have in the world. But what if what happened if it's end up like that lady? It seems like you're still in a loop of suffering or torments even after you die. So I think from this story, I just want to say, if you do bump into hard times or difficult times, do reach out to people to talk to first before come to a conclusion.
And don't be afraid to go and visit a mental health professional and have a chat with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Counselors are very well trained. Go and speak to one. It's let's end the stigma associated with mental health. Everyone has mental health. Everyone has poor mental health at some stage in their lives. There's nothing ashamed of it. I've had shitty mental health in parts of my life when I went through things that are very close to depression, when I'm grieving, when I'm sad, and or when you're stressed or overwhelmed. There's nothing to be ashamed about. Absolutely nothing.
Well, I also want to say that Supernatural Confessions Facebook group is not a professional medical advisory board. So whatever that you see members posting, do take it with just an advisory or from their own opinion and experiences. Always seek a professional help, because I know sometimes there are certain posts where people will say, "Oh, do this, do that. You will cure." Use your own discretion when you hear things like that.
I was
okay?
going to say, use your own discretion.
Well, with regards to this story, I think the first thought that came to my head was, how can someone hang themselves in the cupboard? Right? I'm thinking about the feasibility of hanging yourself in the cupboard. When I brought this story up to Eugene Tay, Alvin and myself, we were there yesterday. He wasn't laughing. In fact, he said someone he knows hang himself against the window grill where his feet was fully planted on the ground. So if you could hang yourself in the window grill by the side, I imagine you could hang yourself in the cupboard. So
people can drown in just this much of water. It's your will, right? Knowing that you can stand up. But if you want to die, you're going to find all sorts of ways and means to do so. Whether or not you have that height, if you want to do it, you will.
Yeah. People can hang themselves using doorknobs. Have you not heard of that?
Yeah, but that one's usually accidents happen during sexual acts, asphyxiation and all that went wrong.
Doorknob?
Yeah.
Doorknob.
Doorknobs. But I guess if you can kill yourself that way, you really want to die, you can find a way for it. Again, I don't know whether she's having the third eye or not, but having a ghost constantly attack you for not even attack like threaten to take over your body for a whole year, possibly would have a toll on your mental health actually.
Definitely.
Yeah,
You know, and chip away at your resolve. And if you feel very helpless and you don't have anyone to turn to, or you have tried to turn to people, and there is just no resolution, right? And then you're stuck in that loop of suffering again and again until that final nail in the coffin. And in this case, it was just that last straw for her.
And for the ritual, I feel that the ritual is very familiar. Having seen and gone through some of this kind of cleansing ritual, you go to the medium will give you things to burn, give you advisory, write special talisman, and then usually you find the conduit item, put it together, burn as an offering, and send it out. Why don't turn back? And this is also very important. I have been on the receiving end of this advice, where I also do certain things and don't turn back. Because when you turn back for some reason or another, again, I don't know the science of it, but spiritually, if you turn back, you're creating a connection and then it will follow you, or you will somehow disrupt the connection or something. So when you buang barang, when you throw things, you never turn back no matter what you hear. Cries, calling of your name. Just turn, you drop it there, you turn and you walk away. Now, the next question I have is, the cleaner that comes to clean it up, what happens to him? Will he take on the burden?
Yeah, I remember talking about this that last time as well.
Yeah.
It sounds like when you are dumping your girlfriend also, so when you dump your girlfriend, don't turn back, she will cry, she will call out your name, she'll try to grab you, so don't turn back, just walk.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's not crying, sometimes they're cussing,
Yeah, so just don't turn.
Okay.
Not getting involved in this at all.
Yeah. Oh, Kim, you have not given us your jokes for today.
Do we? Oh, okay. We have to go with the jokes. Yeah, jokes to wrap up a supernatural confession show. Okay.
Go out laughing, lah.
It's been
quite a few. Such a
heavy, today.
Heavy,
heavy, right? Heavy.
Topic.
Okay.
Yeah, very heavy.
All right. A joke for today. Clark says original. Let me think about one. Okay. What is the downside of what is the downside of having a hand job from a ventriloquist? She makes your dick talk. It's not good. I felt it's good. I've never heard my dick talk. Do you want to hear your dick talk? I don't want to hear my dick talk.
Voice of God came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus, that gave me indigestion.
Anyway, guys, it's going to be 11:30 soon. I'm just
very uncomfortable.
I'm putting in the link here for you guys to go catch the featured confession of today. This one is by Vishnu. He had a problem with his house. Someone put a black magic.
Such a funny fellow, that one.
Yeah, very nice guy. Came up to us, big fan of the show. Said been watching for 2 years, and finally decided to give us his own confession. That's happening in a minute's time on our YouTube channel. The links are in the comment section. Please go and click the link. Go and check us out. 11:30 is starting right now. We're going to say goodbye. And Joe, why don't you say goodbye first, very quickly?
Okay, my name is Joe. Again, to all the family in SC, thank you for joining us again on a Friday night. We look forward to hearing stories from you again. So my tagline, I've forgotten my tagline. Oh, my tagline is, there are more questions and never answers.
No, there are more questions than there are answers.
There are more questions than there are, something like that, yeah? Like the questions and the answers, they intersected with one another, and then you had more and less of the others. So that's my thing.
Go ahead, Sonia, your turn.
I'm Sonia, and I have a super rational explanation for most of everything. I wouldn't be on this show if I did not say anything. So I also want to say happy birthday to Jenny.
Oh, happy birthday, Jenny.
Yes, my cousin. So, we had a question asking about where is Chi-Chi. We still need, there's some stuff that we need to sort out, but we hope to come back online with that show soon.
Kim, over to you.
I've also read there's a lot of people who like my jokes. Thank you very much. I'm Kim. Remember, next week is going to be our one final week before we have Chinese New Year break. So remember to tune in next week if you've got the time. Friday, same time, same place, or whatever you are watching this on. I'm Kim. Whatever you don't see doesn't mean it is not there.
Oh, very nice.
Well, for me, I always say, no matter what you experience and if you doubt yourself, know that you're never alone. If you think you are alone, call me. My number is 945-94931. Anyway, good night, everybody. And we're going to end off today's session with a...
Bye, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Go check out YouTube right now. Social media. Supernatural Confessions. Beach News Confession. Let's go. Let's go.
What did you find? You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.